Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I'm Nicole Bridger. Today, I want to talk to you about resistance. It's something that's been coming up a lot lately in different groups that I lead and one-to-one sessions. So I think it could be something that's helpful for some of you back home. Before we begin, taking a deep breath, and wherever your attention has been called out there in your life, wherever bits of you are scattered out there in the world, just call it all back to you. Another deep breath. Really allow yourself to land. Just give yourself a few minutes of presence. So here's the thing about resistance. So it is said that whatever you divinely desire exists instantly out there in the world. And it is only our resistance that keeps it from entering our experience. So what does that actually kind of mean? For example, this morning, I got an invitation to go surfing. And this example is kind of interesting because it touches on a bunch of things at the same time. So I'll tell the story and then bear with me and kind of bring out a few points in there. I have been desiring to surf more and to become a better surfer. And this morning, my resistance became so clear to me because my partner is a surf guide, and he was going to be at the beach at 9. And then one of my good friends down the road asked me early this morning if I would like to go surf at 8, which would actually be perfect because then my partner could surf with me. I like it when he's with me. I feel a little bit safer and he helps out. Also, my normal excuse of I need to walk the dogs wasn't applicable because my friend is staying with us and she loves walking the dogs, and she even said, hey, while I'm here I can walk the dogs if you ever want to go surf. So the very thing that I've been wanting, I found myself this morning trying to find a reason not to go. And that's when I had to kind of laugh at myself and say, okay, what is this resistance really about? And sure, right now I'm using a somewhat silly example of surfing, but it's a playful way for us to look at a lot of deeper things that we desire in our lives. I mean, surfing could be, for me, what does surfing mean? It means playfulness. It means connecting to my partner. It means giving myself time to do something that doesn't have a specific outcome. It is an act of self-love. So if those are things that I'm desiring, if I'm desiring a deeper connection with my partner, if I'm desiring more playfulness, because life gets really serious really quick, and if I'm desiring to do things more for myself, then surfing is one of those things that I can do. So my first resistance, so I had to really stop this morning and go, okay, what is this really about? What why am I wanting to do it, then completely going into resistance, trying desperately to find an excuse not to go, and then really thinking about it and kind of grappling with it, and then being annoyed at myself for not jumping on the opportunity. So the first thing that came up for me was my body. I haven't been working out as much these last few weeks, so I don't feel strong. I don't feel as confident in my bathing suit when I'm feeling less fit. And these are all my shadow thoughts. I jumped on the time. There's no time. I've got too much to do. I have all these responsibilities. I need to walk the dogs. I have clients, these kinds of things. And then it's interesting because then the very thing that you desire is often something that we resist. So I desire more connection with my partner, and surfing is one of the things that he can be the leader in our relationship, and it's really good for us to have that, especially because we have the wellness hotel together now too. It's really nice for both of us when he can lead. And finding all these reasons to not give me that one I genuinely really desire, and finding all these reasons why not to. And what's interesting is, first you look at the resistance that you're having, and how that's being outwardly expressed. So for me, making excuses not to go surfing. But where it actually gets interesting is if you allow yourself to dig into each little thought that you're holding on to and ask yourself, where is that actually coming from? So with my body, there is some shame there for me around doing an activity and not being that good at it and being made fun of. I was bullied in my sort of teenage years when I was trying to snowboard and keep up with some boys, and they used to make fun of me, and it really hurt a lot. And I could see how there's a little fear in me of putting myself out there to be ridiculed, which with my logical brain of course doesn't make sense. But when I take a deep breath and I ask myself, what am I actually afraid of? That's something that I feel afraid of, and it's tied into shame with my physical body around that time as well. And when you're surfing, you're very naked, and for me it feels really vulnerable trying to do a sport that I'm still a beginner at, and feeling really exposed. So there was a part of me that doesn't want to expose myself to being shamed. And it actually kind of hurts to say that out loud. With the time, always finding excuses around time, that I need to walk the dogs, that I've got too much to do. When I take a deep breath, I have a belief that I need to do everything, that it's all up to me, that if I don't do it, nobody else will. And this one is interesting because it perpetuates a fear of not being needed. So when deep down inside you hold a fear of not being needed, what do? You make yourself indispensable. So, gosh, how would they ever live without me? I do so much around here, kind of thing. And again, this can be really running in your subconscious, not necessarily in your conscious mind. And what was really beautiful was that I did go surf. And around the time piece, the belief I have that it's all up to me, it was really cool to feel so supported. My dear friend Tori took the dogs for a walk. I allowed her to support me, and it felt really good. My friend Sarah is the one who texted me this morning saying, "Let's do it, girl." And then I ran into her on the street when I was not gonna go, and she said, "Forget about it, come on, let's go." And I allowed her to support me, to nudge me. She knows that it's something that I want to do, and that I've got some nerves around it and some resistance, and she helped nudge me with a big smile. No judgment at all. I also allowed my partner to support me. He comes and surfs with me, and he helps me catch waves and tells me sort of what to do out there, and allowing him to be the lead and to show his love in the way that he knows how, and that's where we fell in love with each other. It was surfing, and in that dynamic of him being confident and strong, and me allowing him to support. I have from my past relationship with my ex-husband, where I really did have to do everything, and there's this huge part of me that's terrified of being with somebody like that again. And when we're terrified of something, we often, by focusing on it, end up recreating it from a place of fear. And we could feel that kind of happening in our dynamic lately, where I was feeling afraid of being with someone who didn't care, someone I couldn't trust, someone who was okay to let me do everything and carry the whole load. And I was very aware of it as it was happening, and my own thoughts, and able to communicate it. And this was a beautiful time to let him step into that role, which felt really good. So, sure, this is a kind of playful example, but it's something for you guys to lean into in your own lives. What is something that you are desiring, and how are you resisting it? And really focusing in on the why. Why do you want this thing? Why did I want more surfing? And if you remember, it was about connection, and it was about playfulness, and time for myself. And how was I resisting it? No time. I've got all this responsibility on my shoulders. Fear of shame. And, to be honest, I think a fear around really stepping into being vulnerable with my partner. There is a fear there of letting him really love me, and truly receiving the love in the way that he offers it. Because of course there's that part of me that feels like that's not safe, that I'm opening myself to be hurt again. And so what do we do with those voices as you uncover them? For example, that voice, I just take a deep breath and I shine a light on it, and I say, I see you. I know that you're scared, but we are safe. We are safe to open our arms to receiving this love. We are safe to receiving support from others. We are safe to exposing our vulnerabilities and our fears. And we are safe to just try, to just get out there and try. And what's so beautiful is that I had an incredible time. Probably one of the best surfs that I've had. And it came at a really good time for me. This last few days have been particularly challenging. So it was a real gift for me, for my partner, for my friends, and I know now also for my son as I go to pick him up from school, that I'm a better human right now because I stepped into the resistance and did the thing anyway. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I know it's not exactly a clear pathway. There's a lot of breathing and feeling and allowing. Just being really honest and gentle with yourself. Say, I see you. I know this feels scary, and we are safe. And resistance can look a lot of ways. It can look like checking out. It can look like overworking. It can look like over planning or shopping or anything basically that you do when you don't want to feel something. But if there are things out there that you want to be doing, just start noticing and writing down in your journals ways in which you resist it, excuses that you make up. And follow this kind of process that I just walked you through. And you might be able to uncover and heal and actually start doing more of the things that you want, that you know are going to help you feel better, enjoy life more, and be more of the human that you want to be. Thank you so much. I wish you a blessed day.